Hello, my name is James Fisher, and welcome aboard for episode 3. This is the first thing I wanted to talk about when I was putting down notes for the third episode. 3. Now, I hope most of you have seen Quentin Tarantino's Inglourious Basterds, and you may remember, definitely remember a scene in an underground bar where our dear Michael Fassbender, I don't know the character's name, is playing an undercover British spy and is playing a game of blockhead, which I'm sure hadn't quite kicked in until the 90s, against a German soldier. And he goes to order drinks and he holds up his hand and he says, "Can I have 3?" And he holds up his index finger, his middle finger, and his ring finger. Now the German soldier sees this and flinches, balks, because he's held up fingers that British people would hold up when signifying the number 3, where a German 3 is your thumb and your index finger and your middle finger, according to the world of Tarantino. Now, he's a crafty devil, and I'm pretty sure he's just spinning a little bit of urban myth here. But I want to put it out to a vote, because I definitely, when doing a 3, use my thumb and my index finger and my middle finger to signify 3. And that's the way I would count. I would count thumb first, forefinger, index finger. Imagine this scenario. You are in a Spanish bar, and like all good Brits, you know roughly 5 to 10 words of Spanish when you're abroad, and you go to the bar and you order 3 beers. Tres cerveza, por favor. And in that instance, because your Spanish is weak, you hold up your hand. You signify how many you mean by holding up. You point with one hand. You say, I want this. Can I have 3 of those, please? Now, imagine you're in that scenario and you're going to do those gestures. Which fingers do you hold up to signify 3? Genetically, I kind of get it. It feels more comfortable to put those 3 fingers up, including the ring finger and tucking the thumb in. But I think I always do this with the thumb. So, let me know in the comments below what your way of signifying 3 is. So, welcome to episode 3 of We've Got Something to Put to Bed. And that is the name of this show. Wow. I've just elevated it beyond podcast to a show. I've had some awesome suggestions come in. Some awesome suggestions from friends. Andrea, he sent one through. Matt and Jess sent about 7 through, including SOS, Save Our Screenwriter, which Matt specifically wanted to know that was his idea and not a joint idea between Jess and himself. Carry On Fisher, which appeals to my Star Wars heart, and numerous other ideas came in. Only one person came up with an idea which kind of stopped me in my tracks and made me think, oh, okay, actually that's brilliant. And that was my dear friend Pete, who sent through on a message, I think it was on Instagram, saying you should name it Boats and Pros, which had me laughing out loud, like proper LOL, not just end of text LOL. And it's brilliant. It's genius. And really made me think, oh God, I'm going to have to really consider that, because it has everything, which is why I like Boatwriter Radio. It's a Ron Seal name. It's got everything. It's got everything in there. You know exactly what it does. And if you are a Will Ferrell fan, or know the film Step Brothers, then you will appreciate the name Boats and Pros and why it's so genius. But I couldn't do it. I couldn't rebrand. So officially, from this point forward, it is Boatwriter Radio, and it will stay like that until we sink. So this week, it's been a busy 2 weeks. I am sorry. It has 2 weeks have passed by. A lot has happened. I'm back. Writing is back. My muse has returned. It feels good. I don't think I've been writing this well since the upheaval. So really pleased about that. Got a nice daily rhythm going in the mornings, and then in the afternoons I've been earning a little bit of money to keep things afloat. But got lots of things to update you on. So first things first. The maiden voyage happened. Footprint set sail. I mean, she set sail many times. She's been around. She has been around. Filthy boat. But this is my first voyage with her under the, well, I was going to say brilliant supervision, but something happened. The supervision of my brother Ollie, who very kindly came out with me. The reason I'm not going to say brilliant is because, so in the marina, we have a lock to go out. We have to get on the radio, this radio, and we have to call in, say, Marina, this is Footprint, requesting lockout. And then they say yes or no, or wait, or... Now, something's wrong with my antenna, so we didn't quite capture what was said. I think, there's all sorts of interference. The radio looks quite new. The radio is very new. But something wrong with the aerial. So we didn't quite catch it. We thought, we'll proceed anyway. Or Ollie, he's a bit gun-ho, my brother Ollie. So he's like, well, let's crack on. Okay. So we left our berth and headed out under engine. And we got to the lock. And lo and behold, the red light was on. Little traffic light system. And so we decided, okay, we'll just hold back. Ollie got impatient, so he's like, let's practice some parking, which is, to be honest, the most terrifying thing about the whole experience of sailing. I've decided, well, so far, I'm sure parking will look like a walk in the park when there's like 20-foot bloody waves rolling in, but right now parking is the most terrifying thing, mainly because everyone's watching you. Oh, here comes James in, first voyage. See how he does. Oh, bit fast. Oh, he hasn't counted for the wind there. So yeah, it's hard, but Ollie thought it'd be a good idea to practice, and it was in the other part of the marina, so away from my neighbours' prying eyes. And so the first attempt went well. I was working the boat in as best I could with a tiller which forces you forward away from the power control. So if you want to turn and have control of the throttle, you need to pick up the tiller and you don't get as much leverage on it, and then you've got to go down to the controls. And apparently I've got a difficult system because I have a gear stick as well as throttle, and when changing gear between the 3 gears of forward, neutral and backwards, you have to ease off the gas. Now these aren't labelled, they are just 2 levers next to each other, one long, one short, and you just have to do your best. So there's a lot of fucking around, I would say, trying to park. And I'm crouching down to get the power. I'm trying to work the steering with the tiller. It's not ergonomics. It's not ergonomical. No, it's absolute nightmare. But absolutely nailed the first park. Nailed it. Glided in. Ollie hopped off. Brilliant. And then, the light was still red. So Ollie got impatient again and was like, oh, let's do another park. Yeah. Can't we just leave it at the one I nailed? But no, apparently not. Gotta go again. So, yeah, came in from a different angle, aimed for a little bit of a different spare bit of pontoon, and it looked to be going quite well. And then it was a bit sharp, and Ollie, I'm not going to blame Ollie. I drove it into the pontoon, but he did shout, push it left, when he meant push right. So my dear footprint has a gouge down the side of it. Not a shallow gouge either, into the fiberglass, which I now have to fix. I have watched a YouTube video. I am prepped. I just need to buy some tools and get on that. Funnily enough, I wasn't upset. I think probably because she's just got gouges all over. But I'm gonna fix her up. Yeah, she deserves that. So yeah, we hadn't even sailed yet, and I'd already put a mark in her, so that didn't kind of put my nerves in the... I was apprehensive all day, actually. I was apprehensive all day because I knew it would require a lot of focus. But eventually we got out of the lock and into Cardiff Bay, and it was great fun. The weather was beautiful. Lovely sunshine, and the wind was temperamental, but not aggressive. So we got the head sail up, or AKA the Genoa. No, Genoa. Shit, fuck. Genoa, not Genoa. Genoa. And we also got the mainsail up, and under Ollie's direction, we sailed. Loved it. And then it was time to park again. This time actually in my berth, with everyone watching. Nailed it. Absolutely nailed it. Yeah. So, yeah, good day sailing. And looking forward to getting out and learning some more. I have a lot to learn. One interesting thing though, a couple of days later, I noticed I pulled my thumb. I can't remember the last time I pulled my thumb, but it's still giving me a bit of jip. So, yeah, interesting one. I might have to do some thumb push-ups, kind of build some stamina in there for yanking those ropes, because it does require quite a lot. So yeah, some upper body strength workout required. But looking forward to getting out again. So that was a Saturday, a couple of weeks ago. And on the Sunday, it really knocked me out. I was exhausted on the Sunday. I was so tired that even though I wanted chocolate, I couldn't be bothered to go and get some. Now, anyone who knows me knows that is slightly worrying. So, yeah. And I lay where I'm sitting now, reading, watching films, really, really wanting chocolate, but I just couldn't be bothered to go and get any. So, something's wrong then. So yeah, a little bit bluesy. I think everyone gets a little bit of blues on Sunday, especially when you have a good weekend and it's coming towards heading out to work time again. So yeah, so the time ticked over and I was watching, going, nearly 4 o'clock. Shops will be closing soon. And then it got to like 4:45 and I was like, oh, bugger, I've missed my chocolate run opportunity. And then I realised it wasn't the 1970s anymore, and shops do open later than 4 p.m. And with that little burst of excitement and energy at how commercialism has taken over our lives, I hopped out of the boat and went for a walk. And yeah, it's amazing when you feel blue. And it's the tough thing, you feel blue and you can't bother to move. You're just lazy, you just want to pig out. And then you move, and then you're like, oh, I wish I'd moved 4 hours ago. This feels great. So I went for a walk. Up to Penarth, the local town, the nearby town, on a chocolate rampage. So I got to the top of the hill in Penarth and was just about to go into the shop and satiate the sugar dragon when my friends Sarah and Thomas called, and I hadn't spoken to them for ages. They've just moved down to Cornwall and are taking on a very ambitious house project. So, yeah, I found a wall to lean against and caught up with them and watched the world go by. And it was interesting, kind of standing there on the wall. It made me realise that since lockdown, I hadn't loitered anywhere. Because obviously initially it was all, out for an hour and back, and you've got to keep moving and you can't sit on park benches. And I felt a bit conspicuous leaning against that wall. I started to get a little bit paranoid because people were looking at me, and I was thinking, are we allowed to loiter in Wales yet? Because we're a few weeks behind. I know loitering is allowed in England again, but are we allowed to loiter in Wales? And then I saw a chap. I don't know if he was homeless or not, but he walked over on the other side of the street and beelined for the bin and started very methodically, quite neatly, emptying everything out of the bin until he found something of worth. So and then he was happy, started putting everything back in, and then some chap walked past him and then gave me a look and shaked my head. And even though there was a homeless person emptying a bin, foraging for stuff, I thought he was shaking his head at me because I was loitering, and you can't loiter in Wales yet. And then I realised actually he was trying to connect. You see something happen, and you're looking. You look for someone to see if they also saw that. And so I think I was fighting against the wall. I ended the conversation with Sarah and Thomas, and then headed into the shop. I probably should have had a drink of water before I left, because I was in that state where you want filth, but you're not sure what filth you want. So instead of deciding, I hedged my bets and bought 5 different pieces of chocolate and biscuits and crisps. You're just not sure. You got the slab of chocolate. You fancy the slab of chocolate, great. And then you see the biscuits, you're like, oh, but there's something the chocolate isn't giving me which the biscuits will give me. But then what if I have the biscuits and then I want pure chocolate but I've only got the biscuits? And then there's Haribo and crisps. So all of that came back with me, and then as I was heading to the counter, I saw the ice cream thing, and then I realised a cold treat would be nice too. So I had the 4 backup options to watch with the film, but on the way down to get back to the film, I had the ice cream, and I thought I've cut down my meat loads. I reckon I was eating meat twice a day without fail a couple of years ago, and I've been taking the heat of society and global warming and stuff, and also thinking about health and all those things, and thinking, oh, let's rein it in. So I only have meat once a week now, which is cool. Still butter is sneaking in. I love butter. That's going to be a tough one to kick. And fish once a week. But I did spot a vegan ice cream in that glass-fronted cabinet, a vegan Magnum, so I thought I'd give it a whirl, and felt good. I mean, the fact that everything else in my arm was covered in cow's milk chocolate I failed to recognise that in the moment. I was just thinking about how good I was having a normal Magnum. But, one step at a time. So off I trotted with my bag of goodies and my vegan ice cream. And then my mother called on the way down, which was nice. And bless her, it was lovely talking to her. And she apologised for all her feedback and I hope I didn't take it too badly. And I said, "Oh no, don't worry, Mum." Knowing full well I'd recorded the episode and hadn't put it out yet. "You're fine, Mum. Don't worry. No, it's all good. It's all good. All helps." And then I realised I'd taken a wrong turn, and I've been there before, but first time since being here, I ended up at Penarth Pier accidentally. Kind of one of those happy accidents, I guess, because the sun was coming down and it was looking beautiful. The lights were kind of strung along the pier, the big bare bulbs, and yeah, it was looking amazing. And a very blue skies. So anyway, I decided to walk around under the pier and finish my conversation with my mum. And even though I just had an ice cream and had a bag full of sugar stuff, I spotted an ice cream parlour on the pier, and I couldn't resist. I don't know if any of you get into a state you just can't resist, you need more. So I had a second ice cream, which my mother found hilarious. Unfortunately, it didn't have vegan, so it was completely fruitless. I'm sorry, cows. Deary me, does anyone else have these kind of crazy sugar binges? I'm generally quite a healthy guy. I exercise quite a lot, but my God. But let me know in the comments below I want to know your top binge food. It doesn't have to be sugar, and what's the thing you go to where you just have a hankering and you gotta go get some, and then your stomach's like a bottomless pit for it. So I guess the final thing on this episode is just to chat about some future sailing plans. I had my first person stay aboard last week. My friend Potsy came down, and you've probably seen the picture of us on Instagram playing German style ball games. Unfortunately, we didn't drink rum. Sorry. But we did drink nautical themed beers. We thought that, that would be right. Proper. And we got drinking. Oh, and Prosecco. That kind of ruined it. We did have Prosecco too. We didn't ruin it. It was bloody lovely. And we got talking, and Potsy had mentioned about getting a sailboat before, and he's still gearing up for it. So I'm trying to tempt him more and more to buy one himself. But in the meantime, this year we're gonna learn together, make mistakes together. Hopefully not too many mistakes, because she can't take too many more gouges, Captain. And then probably first venture would be out into the bay, and then we'll go through the big lock and risk a little sea excursion. And then I think we're thinking about trying a Portishead run, so across the Bristol Channel, and we can stay at Portishead overnight and then poodle back. And it's about like a 3-4 hour trip. And our big goal this year is end of summer, maybe September, try and capture some last sun and do a multi-day trip down to West Wales. So very excited about that. And I will be delving into my Sailing for Dummies book that my brother got me, and starting to buy some more equipment when I can. So I'll keep you up to date with that, and hoping to give some more sailing updates and progress there, and the things I learn. So I'm going to leave that there. Thank you for tuning in. Please subscribe and press like and share. And I think we got like 26 subscribers. Me and Footprint, of course. Footprint and I. We're up to 26. So that's awesome. If we can get to 100, apparently I can choose my channel name. So let's go for it. There's going to be a slightly different sign-off today. You might have noticed a slightly different light on me. That's because I'm recording in the day. I did sit down to record a week ago. I got to start setting up, and I thought, I'm too tired for this. It's going to be awful. So I've just had a morning of writing. So I had a bit of a buzz after that and decided to sit down and record episode 3 of Boatwriter Radio. So good afternoon, sailors, and I'll see you next time.